Thanks a lot for connecting. Really appreciate your time as well. First of all, I'll just quickly introduce you to the team as well who have joined in, like the audience. Like they have also taken out time to hear your story and your experience as well. So really appreciate that. Just before we move on to the presentation that you have also planned to share, just I'll quickly introduce about talk about a few things about you and how your journey has been so far. And then I would love to hear you speak and hear your experiences in terms of how you have been tackling all the challenges that have come across your way and the department's way. So good evening. I think good evening, everyone. Welcome to the second webinar of ICAM, the Emotional Wellbeing Series. So it's an initiative by Project Mumbai and FitKit. So through this series, we aim to decode the impact of COVID-19 on the emotional well-being of the unsung heroes in Mumbai. And speaking of the resilience shown by the unsung heroes, we have with us today Shri Shalabh Goel, Divisional Railway Manager, Mumbai Division Central Railway. Thank you so much, Mr. Goel, for joining in. Mr. Goel is the proud recipient of General Managers Award and Ministry of Railways Award. He holds wide experience in different fields of Indian railways, including railway electrification, electric locomotives, and etc. And also supervises close to around 120 stations in Mumbai. So that's again a great deal to manage. And under the rich competencies with vibrant leadership of Shri Goel as well as DRM Mumbai, we fellow citizens of Mumbai are surely in safe hands and look forward to new horizons of glory. Thank you so much, Shri Shalabh Goel, for taking out time and sharing your experiences with us. Over to you, Shalabh sir. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, it's a pleasure connecting with all of you. And Kanai, it's good to see you smiling and so many smiling faces. I always keep on telling my people that things may get tough, but keep on smiling. And hardships may come, as we had very difficult times, all of us in the country. But that shouldn't deter our sort of determination, whatever we have decided. So in fact, there's a small 10 minutes presentation which I'd like to share with all of you, which would perhaps tell something briefly about what Mumbai Division Central is all about. So I'll be just starting the presentation.
Sure, Shalabh sir. Over to you. Thanks a lot.
Karo. Well, this building is the historic building all of us know. Mumbai CSMT building. This epitomizes the city of great city of Mumbai and all Mumbaikars. Next. This is something about Mumbai Division. Mumbai Division, let me tell you, it extends right from CSMT to right up to Igatpuri, and then from CSMT to Lonavala, then this JNPT port, this also falls under the ambit of Mumbai Division, right from JNPT to Diva to Vasai Road, and then this CSMT Panvel, Roha, Karjat, Khopoli, and so many other branch lines. So all these form part of Mumbai Division. And as per the KPI workload of as decided by the Ministry of Railways, we are the fifth highly overloaded division in terms of the workload. The loaded division, not the overloaded, as per the workload parameters which have been decided with the Ministry of Railways. And all this comes to about 600 kilometers. क्या हो गया? कौन सा? नहीं, let it be there. There are 107 stations, Kanai, not 120. There are 107 stations in all in Mumbai Division, and the level crossing gates are about 143. There are 89 road over bridges which pass over the tracks. There are 192 foot over bridges over connecting the east and the west part of the track. And of late, there has been a lot of emphasis on passenger amenities. So we had already provided 76 escalators and 40 lifts, and further lot of escalators and lifts are being provided. We run about to haul the trains. We have got a fleet of 229 electric locomotives which are maintained at Kalyan Electric Loco Shed. And we have got 2 diesel sheds, one at Kurla and another at Kalyan, housing 170 diesel locomotives. We run 220 trains normally in the pre-COVID period. Presently, we are running 88 trains at present. The total daily suburban services we used to run at 1774. Right now we are running 1580. So already we are running about 89% of the services, in which present 89% of the services. And for the EMU trains, the local trains, we have got car sheds at Kurla, Kalwa and Sanpada. We have got a total gazetted staff strength of 173 officers who report to the divisional railway manager, and the non-gazetted staff, there are about 30,000 staff, male and female included. We have also installed 2 monumental flags at CSMT and LTT. There are many firsts to the credits of this great division. Like most of us must be knowing, but I sort of take pride in telling this again and again. We were the first ones in which the train in India ran right from Boribandar to Thane. Then the first electric train ran from Dadan VT Victoria Terminus to Kurla. It was in the year 1925. The first dining car in Indian Railways was in the Deccan Queen. The first station operated by, it's all women station at Matunga. It is first of its kind for all Indian Railways. We take pride in telling this. The first train with push-pull techniques. It's a gift of Mumbai division to entire Indian Railways. This ran from CSMT to Hazrat Nizamuddin Rajdhani Express. Then the purchase of power from open market, which is called as open access as per the Electricity Act. Mumbai division started that, and later on it has spread to many of the states over the country. NPT is one of the main ports which is connected to our rails, and it is one of the main sources for our freight traffic in Mumbai division. The CSMT building is the World Heritage Site. The such iconic place is the CSMT building. Then the Eat Right station, there's a concept of Eat Right station. CSMT station was given the tag of Eat Right station. So these are some of the challenges which came across us during the lockdown: the maintenance of the systems, operation of Shramik specials, the freight operations, execution of civil engineering works, safety of employees, upgradation of medical facilities. As the country was passing and the whole world was passing through the pandemic, while many of the citizens in the country, they were locked inside, but I can assure you, and I can assure you with pride, that almost the 30,000 of railway staff and officers, we were working almost round the clock during this period, and the things got more and more difficult for us, because in spite of all the problems, though the coaching trains had come to a halt, but the freight trains were running, and more number of freight trains were running. They were running more of vigor, because we were entrusted with the responsibility of carrying important commodities like food grains, milk, refrigerated parcel vans, and so many other things, important commodities, medicines. Some of them were getting imported, and other things as well, fertilizers, agriculture products. We were entrusted with the responsibility of carrying all these products to across the country in different parts of the country. So we were running more number of freight trains than we were running than earlier. But the biggest challenge before me was that if we are running so many freight trains, then my track has to be in good fettle.
Hello.
I hope I'm audible.
Yes, Saurabh sir, please go ahead.
So as I was saying, that the main challenge before me was to maintain all the assets in good fettle, including the tracks, the overhead wires, the signaling systems, and so many other associated systems, the coaches, the wagons, the locomotives. But for all that, you require manpower. And this manpower was to come from this 30,000 employees, as I told you. So the railwaymen over here, they are also form part of the city, the complete system. As pandemic was spreading, the pandemic was spreading amongst our employees as well. There were so many difficult situations for us. There was no means of transport except the railways, and it was very difficult for us to how to bring these employees. They may be staying very at far off places, how to bring them to CSMT, for example. And we were not allowed to run the coaching trains. Then we came up with so many solutions, and we had to somehow bring our own staff to the workplaces, then preventing them from falling sick. And whosoever was falling sick, they had to be given proper medical care. We have got railway hospital at Kalyan, we have got railway hospital at Baikula. Then the upgradation of these railway hospitals, tying up with the private hospitals in the city, all these were the challenges which we were being faced. And then came one of the biggest challenges of running the Shramik specials. The Shramiks who were stranded over here, they were to be sent back to different parts of the country. Running these Shramik specials was one of the biggest challenges which we faced, and in which we worked in close coordination with the state government, and all of us worked in complete tandem. Freight operations, as I already told you, the civil engineering works. At the same time, the monsoons in Mumbai start from June. The pandemic had struck somewhere around February, March. The lockdown had already begun. So the preparations for the monsoons, they are a very, very big task for us in Mumbai, so that the trains keep on running. Then we have got two very difficult ghats, treacherous ghats, the Thal Ghat and the Bhor Ghat, northeast, southeast towards Kasara, Igatpuri and Karjat, Lonavala. There are boulders, there have been instances of boulders falling down. So keeping those ghats in proper fettle, proper workable condition, those were the challenges which we are facing. The safety of the employees, the upgradation of medical facilities. These are few of the challenges which I'll be talking about in the subsequent slides. Next. Now, the human resources was falling short for us, because more and more of our employees, they were either getting stuck up at their residences, those who had gone out on leaves, etc., out of Mumbai, they got stuck up over there, and then the human psyche was many times preventing them from taking the risk and coming out for serving the purpose of the railways and of the nation. They had to be motivated. But everything went on well, and I would say I am very much thankful to my team of officers and employees that we could keep the show running. And in that we got lot of help from the local citizens of the country, including NGOs. One of the NGO which came to our rescue many a times was Project Mumbai, led by Mr. Shishir Joshi. He has been of much great help to us. I would like to thank the team of Project Mumbai and Mr. Shishir Joshi for that. And so many others who came to our rescue, Lions Club and Rotary Club and so many other NGOs. Thank you. Next. So these pictures show the Shramik special. We ran about 403 Shramik specials over, which were sent to 20 different states, and over 6 lakh workers who were stranded in Mumbai, different parts of Mumbai, they were taken from Mumbai. 26th, 27th of May was a very special day for us. We ran 80 Shramik specials in one day, which was a record of its sorts. Food packets, drinking water bottle was given with the help of state government NGOs. Next. This is how the suburban services started. March was a lockdown. June we were given the directive that we should start some suburban services. So 200 suburban services we started in June. July it went to 355. Gradually we increased. 1572 we reached in November, and finally right now we are running 1580 services. 2 women special services are also running on the mail line, Harbour line. Next. As I told earlier that we are running about 88 trains right now, 88 mail express trains also, which form 40% of the total mail express trains which we used to run in the pre-COVID times. Next. Freight operations, as I told you, carrying food grains, fertilizers, all these things were a big challenge. We needed drivers, we needed guards. We needed the tracks to be kept in good fettle. So in fact, I am very happy to share that last year we used to carry about 11110 wagons per day. But right now, in spite of all these difficulties, we are carrying 1243 wagons per day, because that was a task entrusted to us. Mumbai has been supplying so many important commodities to different parts of the country, including the northeastern states, the Assam, the northern states, and southern states. But we lived up to the expectations. We got accolades as well. But more important than the accolades was the personal satisfaction to each one of us. The 30,000 staff, the 200 officers, odd officers, which we have. Next. Another thing was the parcels. The small commodities which do not go in the big wagons, they go as parcel special trains. During these, we carried 440 parcel trains, including this dried milk food for the children and so many other products, medicines. We also did during this period, we also did a MOU with the postal department to attract additional traffic and providing door-to-door service. We realized that the post offices, they are sort of lying vacant. We entered into a MOU with postal department, and they said that they'll be using their postmen to reach to the common Mumbaikars and carry the small commodities right from their doorsteps. They would be supplied to somewhere, anywhere in Maharashtra, and then at the doorstep of the customer, it would be supplied. Suppose you want to send something sitting in Kolaba to somewhere in Nagpur, any location in Nagpur, that is possible. Next. Then social obligations. We did not limit ourselves to the railway boundaries. Slowly, with the help of different organizations, we took upon the task. This was not, in fact, we went beyond the call of duty. Whatever food, we tried to arrange maximum food, and that food we were trying to supply. Initially, we tried to supply people who were standing at the stations within the railway premises. Later on, we went, say, 5 kilometers away from the station, 10 kilometers away from the station premises, and we tried to distribute the food packets. And about 5 lakh food packets were distributed during this entire period. Then Tata Memorial Hospital approached us. They had cancer patients who wanted to go back. And the challenge was how to send these cancer patients. They require more of a medical care. But in these Shramik specials only, we made certain special provisions. We tried to make them comfortable to whatever extent we could. And we transported 354 cancer patients from different parts of Mumbai to different parts of India. It was a big challenge for us. Then our Railway Protection Force, they have been of a great, tremendous help during this period. They went beyond the call of duty. These RPF Jawans, they said that they'll be interested in, they were also infected with the corona, but they were willing to do plasma donation. And so far about 20 of our staff, they have already donated, and we have also made out a list of other people who are willing. Out of those, 20 have already donated. Blood camps, blood donation camps were organized at different places. And so far about 112 railway staff have already donated. Next. As I said, we have got 2 railway hospitals, one at Kalyan, another at Baikula. We were fighting with COVID. We were fighting running the trains, but at the same time, we wanted to upgrade our hospitals to take care of our own staff. So the divisional railway hospital at Kalyan, 25-bed COVID care health center was set up. We upgraded Baikula Hospital. We upgraded Kalyan Hospital. And in fact, the situation was so bad that we were told that you have to now convert the railway coaches into quarantine isolation facility. So 125 coaches we converted departmentally without awarding any contract for the quarantine isolation facility. Fortunately, things improved, and these coaches were not used, were not required to be used, but these coaches are still there. They are standing as such, duly converted. They are located in different parts of Mumbai. Then we tied up with private hospitals. We had a lot of shortage of medicines initially, but then this procurement of medicines, remdesivir, tocilizumab, Zumam, all these medicines were made available timely. Ambulances was a big issue for us. The railway unions, they were of big help. Project Mumbai was of big help to us in providing sanitizers and so many other help, trolleys and things like that. Even the PP kits was provided to us by so many organizations, including Project Mumbai. We are extremely thankful to all these organizations. Next. Then staff care. Staff care was one of the very important things. We had to keep our staff motivated. So our HR wing, what we call as the personal wing, they started with a very unique concept of Rail Parivar Dekh Rekh Muhim, in which different supervisors were allocated for different parts of Mumbai, and they would daily interact with the families on phone, maybe by going and talk to them about their welfare if they needed anything. If they needed anything, maybe even the food grains or anything, they are stranded. Maybe the husband is stranded, the lady is alone, the children are alone. So during this period, by taking local permissions from the local police, many a times we were able to even send the food stuff to their residences, even the milk at different. They needed whatever help they needed, the medical help. So they were contacted one on one, and almost all the 30,000 staff, their families were tried to be contacted, and they were just sort of also being tried to be motivated from time to time, so that they maintain their sort of physical, mental balance, and the families are sort of able to also motivate their husbands and the working members of the family to go out and work and contribute back. The sanitization at the workplace was very important. Different locations we were sanitizing, the protective kits on duty, the distribution of medicines. Then one of the biggest challenges was that while people were struggling and people were also retiring during this period, their settlement dues, the pensioners, the salaries, nothing should go wrong. We even set up we have got a railway school at Kalyan. We temporarily converted that railway school into an office, and many of our staff who were staying in and around Kalyan, they started working from there. We provided computers over there. The salaries were passed, and I am very happy to say that our accounts and personal wing, the HR wing, they worked really hard and ensured that the salaries were provided in time. The pensioners, they got their dues in time, and there was no financial duress as such in the families. Then we also started a YouTube channel during this period, in which I was trying to motivate them by sending messages from time to time. We tried to keep them busy with some activity or the other, some positive motivation, I would say. We also held some drawing competitions and things like that, wherein children can draw drawings and send them on email and things like that, so as to keep them motivated and occupied. That was the issue. Next. We did so many new things. In fact, we tried to use this as an opportunity, like this baggage sanitization and wrapping scheme started at CSMT, LTT, and Kalyan, in which the passengers can get it wrapped and sanitize their luggage. We also started automatic COVID-19 kiosks, in which the masks and sanitizers were dispensed with at CSMT, LTT, Dadar. We started the two-way speaker systems at different stations, in which the passengers and the railway employees sitting at the back of the window, they can communicate with each other without the need of shouting or without the need of coming near each other. Next. These are some of the very important works. We did so many things during this period, but these are some of the important works which we were doing silently, because the biggest problem in Mumbai is that you don't get blocks, you don't get to stop the trains. So many of these things which we did require the trains to be stopped, and this kind of an opportunity would not come in a lifetime. So we told our staff that let us do the works which we would not otherwise have done. Let us use this opportunity. For example, we constructed 4 number of new foot-over bridges. We dismantled old 5 foot-over bridges. 33 foot-over bridges were repaired, and all these required long blocks as such. But we use this opportunity so that we don't have to stop the trains later on. 4 new escalators were provided. 4 ROBs were repaired. This copper ROB was a long pending thing. We reconstructed it. Then monsoons are a big problem in here in Mumbai, especially for the railways. So we augmented the waterways so that water can pass from one side of the track to the other side of the track. It was a big task which was pending for almost about 15-20 years, but we did this during this period. The tunnel portal works in the Ghats. We erected 12 new portals. I am going to show you the photograph for that. The level crossing gates were overhauled. Patripul Kalyan, you must have seen, it was in the news. It was a long pending work. We did it. It required a lot of big blocks. Then RRI offices, the signaling systems, we made 2, and about 50,000 cubic meter of muck, which was lying on the tracks or besides the track for past so many years. We removed them. So these are some of the important works which we did. Next. Then the passenger amenity works as well. For example, 4 escalators, COP extension, new toilets, provision of new high volume, low speed fans, free Wi-Fi. During this period, we installed 600 new stainless steel benches at different stations. Next. So these are the new FOBs which were constructed during the lockdown. Next. These are the pictures of some of the old FOBs which are the British era FOBs. We wanted to dismantle them as they were trying to turn dangerous from the structural strength point of view. Dismantle them. Next. We repaired these. These are the list of 33 FOBs which were repaired. Next. ROBs which were repaired. Some of them were very old. For example, if you see this Kalyan Valdhuni, it is a British colony era bridge. Then this 60-year-old ROB, 50-year-old ROB. All these required otherwise the trains to be stopped. So our people work day and night and use this opportunity to repair these ROBs. Similarly, this copper ROB was repaired. It's a 40-year-old ROB, long pending demand. We repaired this. Next. Augmentation of waterways. These are very challenging tasks, very difficult works. But you can see from the diameter of this pipe, and this gentleman, this work is standing over here. So all these things were done. 11 such waterways where the water was getting stuck up in every monsoon. We provided additional waterways. Next. These are the tunnel portals. You see, these are the ghats, this Igatpuri Kasara and Karjat Lonavala ghats. So there's a probability of the boulders falling down from over there and falling on these, coming on the tracks. So these are kind of protection portals, thick, huge structures, stainless steel structures which we erected. Next. Then this overhauling of the level crossing gates, it's a very difficult task. The road has to be repaired, the tracks have to be repaired. So we repaired, and you cannot repair these on normal days because the traffic is so high. You cannot keep the, you cannot stop the trains because this involves stopping the trains. Next. Then this Patripul Kalyan, you can see the magnitude of the work. It was constructed in the year 1914. So we repaired this during this period. Next. The escalators. Next. Extension of COP. Next. The new toilets were constructed at GTB Nagar, LTT. So many other passenger amenity works which we did. Next. Coach guidance indicators, free Wi-Fi. Then this solar, we are giving a lot of emphasis on this solar system so as to reduce the cost of energy. And we want to give a lot of impetus to green energy. Next. Recently, we also commissioned an executive lounge at CSMT, and the cost is also very less. We would invite you to visit this someday. The fees is only 10 rupees 10 per hour. Next. Now, this talking about this green energy, every day we keep on reading that the future is going to be of e-vehicles. So the government, the state government and the central government, they want to put the e-charging facilities across the country in large numbers. So we have also started providing. Recently, we have provided this facility at CSMT, and we are going to spread this to other stations of Mumbai as well. This artwork was, these pictures show the artwork done by Project Mumbai. We were constantly interacting with the Project Mumbai team. There were so many VCs late at night, maybe even at 10 o'clock in the night. And the Project Mumbai team was always ready to wake up at 10 o'clock in the night or 11 o'clock in the night. And total 19 stations have to be covered. Next. Masjid station is the recent station they have done this. Vidya Vihar station, these are all beautiful, very beautifully done. And these have been done by the common citizens, the Mumbaikars. All tributes to them, hats off to them. Vikhroli and Kanjurmarg stations. Next, Ghatkopar station. So these cashless, our endeavor has been to go towards cashless regime or digital India. So we have been trying to increase the cashless facilities at all the stations. US machines have been made available at 80 ticket checking personnel. This is a work at Mulund station, courtesy Lions Club. Next. Bhiwandi Road has come up as a big parcel venue right now, and it has been developed during this COVID period. Now parcels have started going from here right up to Kolkata, Assam. There's a place in Assam called as Azra, and maybe we are also thinking that it may even go up to Bangladesh. Next. This is, I'm happy to inform you that for the first time in Mumbai division, we are exporting vehicles, transporting the vehicles, Mahindra and Mahindra mini trucks, and loading them at Kalamboli and sending them to Benapole in Bangladesh. So this is something new which we have done during this COVID. Next. Then good sheds, these are very important for us because this is where the loading takes place. So we improved all these good sheds. Lot of work was done during in these good sheds to improve the condition of these good sheds. Next. We had a big problem at in Southeast Ghat. This picture is before pre-COVID, in which in the last monsoon the complete track structure settled down. Out of 3 lines, 1 line had complete settled down. So this was completed. This is an old picture. We completed this is in December. But this was a very real engineering difficult task. We completed this in before 31st of December last year. Next. Some good work, heritage development work is going at Baikula. Once this is complete, I would request you that you visit this sometimes. You would really love it. Next. Lot of technical initiatives were taken during this period, and this basically involved the use of contactless technology. We locally developed a robot Rakshak at Baikula Hospital. So many people across the country were developing robots at 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, whatever. But I am happy to inform that we developed it locally, our own staff, without any external help. Our young officers, they did it. Next. This is one recent EMU rake we had received. We have got only one. It's a beautiful rake. Maybe you get a chance to ride it someday. We are trying to get more such rakes here in the system next. Something different. Mumbai division has got lots of sports stars and who are representing the country in the international and national level in weightlifting, hockey, shooting, boxing, football. And all these guys, if you see, guys and girls both, during the day they are doing their work, evening they are doing practice, and whenever their championships are approaching fast, then we give them leave. So they have been making a name for the nation. We take a lot of pride in them. Next. That is all. Thank you. Thank you, Kanak.
Great. I think, wow, thanks a lot for that, Shalabh sir. I think really appreciate you walking us through the entire journey that Railways has gone through in Mumbai itself. So wonderful. I think I totally agree that even like a half an hour span is really like the entire day is, I think, less for you to really explain the entire activities that Railways has done in the past 8-9 months to challenge this and to basically tackle this COVID challenge. So lovely. I think just one, like, out of curiosity, sir. So considering you mentioned the challenges in the first part, and then you mentioned about the achievements and the activities that the team did. But basically, as a leader, as the chief of all the entire Railways Mumbai division, I would say, how did you manage to really encourage your staff? Because I saw you encouraging, like you mentioning about your staff and the human resource that was involved in the entire plan. But as a chief, as a leader, what did you do to really encourage them?
The biggest thing was we decided that we are not going to sit at home in spite of lockdown, whatever. I can tell you that none of my officers have sat at home right from 23rd March. Every day, not even single day, barring maybe few Sundays, we were either in office or somewhere in the field or somewhere in some loco shed, car shed, or somewhere in the lobby interacting with the staff. The basic motive was that, like, it's a difficult situation, but let's take it. Let's take all the precautions, but let us not be scared of it. Let us take up precautions, but let us keep on discharging our duties because this is the time when the nation requires us. Suppose the doctors at this point of time start saying that let us sit at home. They would never say so. The defense personnel, when a war comes, they are supposed to be at the borders fighting. So for us, it was a fight. And all of us were there in the field. I think that was the biggest motivation.
Right.
So, and we were interacting them through this Rail Parivar Dekh Rekh Muhim, as I said. We were interacting them through WhatsApp messages. We were interacting them through supervisors one-on-one. We were using the YouTube channel. We also organize these small competitions for this drawing competition and things like that.
Right.
Like on 15th of August, 15th of August, we were in the midst of COVID period. We organized a full this Independence Day things, though in a diluted manner. Then in the evening, we organized a small Zoom conference. जिसमें देशभक्ति के गाने we all of us sang. So things like that, we were trying to keep them motivated, engaged, and so far that have worked for us.
Great. So I think wonderful. That really helps, I think. But I think in terms of also like considering being always on duty, like you mentioned, they were always on the front line. So considering that, like how like did you as a department manage to like ensure the safety of the families as well, right? Because they were at home, they were at risk because the officers were on duty. So were there any precautions? Like were there any anything that the department took on behalf of the employees?
Yes, like we made small kits like consisting of sanitizers, hand wash, mask, and things like that, gloves. We tried to distribute to maximum number of employees, including their families, whatever we could. And in this, we were helped by organizations like Project Mumbai and so many other organizations.
Right.
And we also purchased on our own. That was one thing. Number two, regarding the precautions, we made out small videos, made out small audio clips. We were playing them inside. When the train started, we started playing them inside the trains as well. We were playing them at the stations. We made out small YouTube videos in which we encourage most of the staff to get part of that YouTube, subscribe to that. So we were sending small messages, the precautionary messages, and our supervisors were talking to them. Key things are difficult, but
Mhm.
let us take the precautions, but let us not be scared of it. Let us take it head on.
Right.
Then we also distributed the shields for the frontline staff, these face shields
Right.
for our TTs and all our frontline staff we procured. Then the sanitization of the different, for example, the lobbies where our running staff, the drivers, guards, they are sitting,
Mhm.
where we were sanitizing it every 4 hours, 6 hours,
Right.
just as a confidence building measure. Then these thermal guns were provided at different locations.
Correct.
So all these things we were doing.
Lovely. So, speaking about now the theme of the webinar, and that the reason also why we wanted to interact with you as well. Speaking about mental health and emotional health aspect as well. So, considering we are all being from like a tier one city like Mumbai itself, we know a lot of things are spoken about mental health, but very less action has been taken around it. So why do you think like we all fellow citizens should really prioritize mental health and emotional health to really keep ourselves going? Because you also mentioned in the initial, like you see me smiling, right? So that's something that we all are trying to like create that environment across like around ourselves. So how do you think like what exactly you do as well? We would love to hear that as well. Like how do you prioritize your emotional well-being and mental well-being?
I would say that most of the people talk about IQ, intelligent quotient, but nowadays EQ is emotional quotient is equally important, maybe even more. The lives of all of us is very stressful, right? From the students. Students are going, I have seen students of classes saying that we are trying to get coaching for IIT JEE.
Yeah, right.
Say what nonsense.
True.
So I would say that first of all, we need to prioritize our personal lives as well as the official things. Let us jot down. None of us is a superhuman that we can succeed in doing all the things. We have to prioritize.
Correct.
Let us list down all the works we have to do at our home or in the office, and then prioritize. And let us try to do one thing at a time.
Right.
Set small goals, daily goal, weekly goal. Try to do. Let us do only one thing. A lot of stress in the office comes from because you want to do so many things and you end up doing nothing. At the end of the
Right.
day, you'd see that, okay, I have not achieved the goal for today. So what? Try hard as long as you're trying hard. And there cannot be so many priorities. I always keep on telling my officers that all the things cannot be sort of a red hot priority. Once I say
Mhm.
priority means there can be only one P1.
Correct.
And then in this P1, one of the things very important has to be your sort of physical health. Like
Exactly.
given a chance, whenever I get time, I would not call myself a sportsman, but I can take pride in saying that still I can defeat many of the youngsters in badminton at
Wow.
least.
Lovely.
I take I enjoy playing badminton 1 hour, 1.5 hour whenever I get time. I would love to play cricket on a Sunday with youngsters and maybe hit them for a four if I get a chance. So what I mean
Great.
to say is that everyone should have a hobby, whatever you enjoy, drawing, painting, playing guitar or whatever, going for a swim to abhi swimming to allowed nahi hai, going for a walk or whatever, running, jogging. Everyone should enjoy something.
That's
Gana
wonderful, I
gao,
think.
music.
Yeah, sir. I think, like you rightly mentioned, like I myself was just talking to my colleague earlier in the day that I'm like getting stressed out just managing two resources, right? As a managerial level, and I think you as a leader, you're managing around over than 30,000 people. So I was just wondering, like, what exactly must be your thought process and how you are operating at that level. And I was just like you rightly mentioned about physical health, right? So that's something even I, like you mentioned, like even I am like very an avid sports person. I love to play sports across like be it like football, badminton. That's something where I look that comfort, right? So like you mentioned, is there any other source of comfort that you also look more from an external environment aspect? What do you look at, like which gives you really motivation, or probably is like some maybe watch movies, like you said, you maybe play sports, like even I do. But is there any other source of comfort that you feel maybe spending time with family, which really like helps you in terms of stabilizing your mental health?
I would say that you should have a family. You should be supporting your family, and family should be supporting you. Why all of us, not in only in railways, whosoever is working, why we are able to deliver in office is because of our families.
Right, very
They are
true.
able to support us. That is why, and that is it is because of this reason that we are able to concentrate in office.
Hmm.
Then it becomes our bounden duty to take care of the families, the requirements. When you go home, take care of your families, take care of your wife, take care of your children, listen to them. You try to understand, is the boy or the girl, the young boy or the young girl, is he facing some difficulty in studies? Even if there's no difficulty, just talk to him how he spent his day. What does he like? What cartoons is he watching? Something like that. Then you should have a group of friends whom you can talk to freely.
Exactly, right.
All of us are part of some alumni association of some college or the other. Be part of that alumni association and contribute in some way or the other. Be part of the RWA society wherever you are living.
Right.
The basic thing is that get engaged and try to do something positive.
Lovely. I think that's a great noble thought, which I think all, like most of the youth, I think on the call, they would also agree to that. Like, because the work-life balance nowadays is really hard to find, considering everybody working from home as well. So like we also are trying to create that environment for our users and for our society. So that's something we are also like trying very hard through our initiatives at Project Mumbai and FitKit both. So thanks a lot for that. Just one, I think, in terms of the post-COVID scenario, right? I was very curious since you like explained very beautifully. I don't have any, like I had a lot of questions in terms of the challenges that you have foreseen during the COVID scenario, but I think you have covered it all in the entire journey. And I think that has been like an eye opener for me as well, because I sitting at home wasn't aware of any of these things that the railways is carrying out. So in terms of the post-COVID scenario, I think that the scenario would be totally different, right? Once the vaccine is out. So what are the challenges that you and the railways department also foresees that you might come across, and how do you plan to tackle it? Because we both have seen there are a lot of protests that are happening currently across all stations. Like there are a lot of chaos that was happening during the lockdown. But once it opens up, like what do you see? Like how the scenario might be?
Like I said that we are running about 89% of the services. We'll be opening up 100% of services, only 10% are less. So that is what we can do, number one.
Mhm.
But at the same time, even if the vaccine comes, the vaccine is going to take time reaching to the people.
Right.
Everywhere we see in the news.
Correct.
So just coming of the vaccine is not going to take away all the problems unless and until the person is vaccinated. Just coming of the vaccine to the nation does not solve the individual's problem.
Hmm.
So that means the person has to take all the precautions what he's taking right now, in spite of the vaccine coming up.
Hmm.
The social distancing would be very, very important in the local trains. I do not know how that is going to happen, because initially pre-COVID, about 45 lakh people were traveling over the central railway system, and
Right.
35 lakh in western railway system. Total 80 lakh Mumbaikars were traveling in the suburban system. So how do you maintain social distance? That is one of the biggest challenge.
Challenge. Right.
Beyond the
Right.
part of railways, we would be coming out with slogans, messages, circles at the stations and things like that. We have already put cross in the seats. Perhaps you might be knowing. We have demarcated the seats so that people sit at alternate seats in a suburban.
Right. Yeah.
But ultimately, it will be the people who would have to decide whether they maintain that social distance or not.
Hmm.
Railways would facilitate to the maximum possible whatever we can do. But the maximum services which I can run is 1780, 1774 only, which we are running pre-COVID. I cannot run more than those number of trains.
Right.
So that those would be the challenges, because theoretically for social distance about 700 people, not more than 700 people should travel in a train, which we calculated. But in the pre-COVID regime, even people to the extent of even 5,000 people are traveling in a train. So 5,000 vis-a-vis 700. So that is going to be a big challenge.
Right. Lovely. So I think great. I think before I just like request the audience also to like ask if there are any further questions, like any message, because I think most of us on this call itself are in the age bracket of around maybe 18 to 30, I would say. So the young crowd is here in front of you, sir, and I think the future is in like your like in front of your eyes, right? So any message like you like I was really happy, I was really comforted when you like the initial statement was you like that you really liked I was smiling, right? That gave me a lot of confidence. So I think we like considering the current scenario, we all are going through a lot, like a lot of different things, and we all have to cope up with our own mental health, and we have our own fitness mantras, right? So like, do you have any final thoughts that you would want to share in terms of how we also should take care of ourselves in terms of our mental well-being, our physical well-being, like you rightly mentioned, that's also core aspect. So any last thoughts that you would want to share? Then I'll probably request the audience if they have any further questions.
Well, I can say that I have always enjoyed talking to youngsters. In fact, my son is perhaps your age. So many, I keep on interacting with so many of his friends. I always enjoy talking to them, learn from them, sharing whatever my thoughts are. I would wish all of you, all the best, and your families, your parents, all the best. Take care of yourself. One thing I would say that take 8 hours sleep daily.
Right.
Don't reduce many of you youngsters, which I keep on telling to my son as well. Many of the youngsters are in the habit of staying late, maybe because of office work or maybe because studying something. I
Right.
would say that whatever may be the pressures, try to get 8 hours sleep. Try to wake up early, do jogging, कुछ भी योगा करें, कुछ भी करें. अगर मेडिटेशन का शौक है वो करें. अगर आपको थोड़ा सा भगवान में विश्वास है तो पूजा करें. 10 मिनट सुबह शाम पूजा करें. Try to get yourself away from your routine. And someone had told me, one of my seniors had told me earlier that you should have you should have a book by your bedside.
Okay.
Which and that should not be related to your daily work.
Okay, nice.
It should be something different. If I am from railways, I should not be reading about railways when I am going to sleep. It should be fiction. It could be Chetan Bhagat. It could be anything else. It can be politics, something different from what is your routine. Just read for 15-20 minutes, half an hour, go to bed. So you enrich your knowledge and you are able to talk to people from other than your area of sphere as well. Most of us are not able to talk to someone who is from a different field.
Right.
So we should try to develop a habit that we are able to talk to anyone who is from a different field even. So all the best, I can only say.
No, thanks a lot, Shalabh sir. I think really appreciate your time. I think it was wonderful. Just like concluding thoughts for me as well. So considering, like I mentioned earlier, like considering staying in Bombay, like in a city like Mumbai, where there is a lot of things happening. Like you see a lot of media speaking about a lot many things, and then we hear from someone like you directly who is working on ground and who is at the front line. Like we all mentioned, like we are also trying to create that, giving that platform to the unsung heroes like you and your team as well, who are working day in and day out so that we have a good night's sleep, right? So really, like, thanks a lot for like doing this entire, like giving us this entire walkthrough of the railways department is carrying out, considering the current scenario as well. I would just request the audience as well if there are any other questions, and if there are any questions for Shalabh sir as well, we would love to take that up. Maybe if not now, we can, you can just probably note, like send us a note separately offline, and we would be happy to share it with Shalabh sir and then get his response on that. But really great insights. Thanks a lot, Shalabh sir, for all the insights that you have shared with the youth of the today, and like a lot of other audiences who have joined in as well. Yeah, just for the audience, we have like a webinar series coming up, like a 7-week webinar series for ICAM as well, the emotional well-being series that we are trying to create and like encourage different stakeholders like Shalabh sir himself, and giving them a platform to share their experiences and really recognize this, right? Because this is really important from a fellow citizen perspective to really understand what the Mumbai city is like going through. So please stay tuned, please log in and please register for the upcoming series as well. We would love to like host the entire audience again. And yeah, thanks a lot, Shalabh sir, again one last time. I think really appreciate your time. Have a great day.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Yes. Take care.